and today we're going to be using my Instant Pot. Yay! So today's menu will be Instant Pot chicken adobo. No marinating involved here. Yes, this will be food. Not me, of course. I am not edible. That would be cannibalism, and that is frowned upon in society. So yes, I will be making my chicken adobo. I am also going to be doubling the sauce I usually do because I have 3 pounds of chicken thighs to cook. The first thing we need to do is saute our chicken. So salt, pepper, and putting the Instant Pot on saute. Now you can use olive oil, you can use any kind of oil. We just like to use avocado oil in my house. You want to pat your chicken dry. Well, not completely dry, just get rid of the excess moisture that you know is going to be. Because then it'll end up either overcooking and getting super dry, or it'll just get too squishy, and nobody likes squishy chicken. And so what I like to do with Instant Pot, everything is pretty much just going to be cooked in the one pot. I will be taking the chicken out after it's sauteed. It's going to go on this plate over here. In the meantime, while I get the sauce and the onions in there and ready to go. What's also nice about the Instant Pot is that it doesn't take that long to come up to temperature to saute, at least compared to my stove. Now I usually go with store brand chicken. I do not get Foster Farms chicken because they usually pump it up with a lot of like salt water, and I don't want my chicken pumped up. So that's just me. And I'm going to need a wooden spoon because after we're done with the chicken, there's going to be a lot of burnt on bits on the bottom. Well, not burnt on, stuff but not burnt. You do not want it to burn. If it burns, these guys can be pretty hard to clean, but you can also get a new insert if you really need to with an Instant Pot, which is nice. And I think they do make a ceramic one now, and I'm actually thinking about getting it. We are going to start seasoning. I add a little more oil in here. Oh good, perfect. We'll leave that open because we will be adding oil throughout because that's quite a bit of chicken to saute all in one go. Pepper. Yes, I have a fancy pepper mill because nothing beats fresh ground pepper. I'm not going to add any salt because I don't like to add salt to things, especially with the adobo because we're already using soy sauce. If you're going to use regular soy sauce, you don't need any additional salt. It will be salty enough. So I would recommend going with the lower sodium soy sauce just to kind of cut down on the salt, but it's really up to you. If you like more salt or less salt, totally up to you. I'm going to put all of the chicken, so as much chicken that will fit in one layer in the bottom of the Instant Pot. One layer. We do not want to go more than one layer. Then it will not saute evenly. Also, if you don't like the fat on the chicken thighs, you can trim it. It's fine. I like to leave it on because it makes it a little more tender as it's cooking because it is going to be cooking for a little bit. So now that everything has been flipped over on the season side, now I can season the opposite side while it's in the pot. Less mess. We love our pepper in this house. We're going to let that saute just until it gets a light brown and then flip it over and then take it out. Rinse this off and we're going to chop the onion while we wait. Get this onion ready to go. And you want to keep your onion diced for this, so it's nice small bites. Alright, let's flip this chicken over. Yeah, you're looking for it to be just a little brown, that's all, before you flip it. Alright, so while it sautés on that side, I'm going to start getting the soy sauce and white vinegar, 1 cup of soy sauce, and 2/3 cup of white vinegar. There's soy sauce. And you want to make sure you use regular white vinegar, not white wine vinegar, because that's really going to mess with your flavor. And 2/3 of vinegar. Okay. That's that's ready to go. We're also going to be using cayenne pepper, bay leaves, and the garlic. But that's going to come after we get the chicken out. Now you don't want the chicken to cook all the way through because, like I said, it'll get really tough. So you just want to cook it about 60% of the way through because it is going to go back in the pot for another, I think, 20 minutes. 15-20 minutes after we're done essentially sauteing it, pan-searing it. Those two got a little more cooked than the rest of them from that batch, but we'll make it work. Now, of course, the second batch is going to cook a lot faster because your Instant Pot, if you're using an Instant Pot, you can do this on this temperature, will have already come up to temperature, so that just makes it go by a little faster. Alright, this should be just about done. And two, that one came out nice. It's gonna be juicy and delicious. I love this cutting mat because it's so flexible. Wooden spoon for scraping. So as soon as you add the onions, you want to throw in your soy sauce and vinegar. Because between that and the onions, that'll take up everything that got stuck on. And you want to make sure that you scrape all of that off the bottom. You don't want it to burn on, but you do want to stir up those little flavored sections. That way it'll cook into your chicken. Now this little onion is one I grew in my garden. Tiny little thing, but all my tiny onions have been super flavorful. So I'm just gonna use this guy. We're gonna add half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So add as much garlic as you want. Some people like more garlic than others. I like garlic, so I'm going to add a little more. About 2.5 tablespoons if you're using minced. You probably want to stay closer. If you want to use cloves, it should be about 3. Now we're going to add back all of the chicken. Now usually for an Instant Pot, you want to keep it to one layer of chicken on top of the onions. But what I like to do is I stack it, obviously, because the pot's not that big. It's only a 6-quart, it's not an 8-quart. I would not have space for an 8-quart. But if you put one layer on the bottom, they are going to shrink. So you want to put the smaller ones closer to the sides, that way they'll fall down as the big ones shrink on the bottom. You see how I have everything in 2 layers right there? That's what you want to stick with. Very, very top, you want to put bay leaves. So as soon as everything's done, I just take the bay leaves out as soon as it's done. So I like to use about 6 bay leaves, but I got a few broken ones in here, so I'm going to add a couple more. Okay, and now we're going to seal it up. You want to hit pressure cook for 10 minutes on high. That's all you have to do. Just hit pressure cook, and as long as that timer's there, it'll start after, I think, 15 seconds. There it is. And now it's going. Ahem. My marvelous chicken adobo on a bed of jasmine rice. Just tuck that over a little bit. There you go. Tell me that doesn't look good.